Well, that's why the NFL is great. You can be a second, third, fourth, fifth round pick like Maxx Crosby, who's joining us live. 6 years, 4 Pro Bowls. Leads the NFL in tackles for loss over the last 4 seasons. You know, I've told you this before. I love you, man. And you did something this week that I think you are very willing to talk about the demon that you've overcome. You've been very willing. There was a picture you put on your Instagram, so I'll ask you about it because you put it out there first. I wouldn't otherwise. But I've talked to you about this before, and there are people right now in this country struggling with what you were struggling with. Do you remember the day that you just said, I'm over this, I'm going to change my life? Do you remember that day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. First off, Colin, it's great to see you always. You're my guy. But yeah, man, I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? That was the biggest day and most important day of my life, besides the day I married my wife and the day my daughter was born. I wouldn't be here in this position if I didn't make that decision for myself and my family, to get healthy and put myself first and get the help I needed. So yeah, man, it's been a hell of a journey ever since. It's been 5 years already. It's crazy how time flies.
Do people ever come up to you and thank you for your messaging and willingness to talk about it?
Yeah, all the time. My first year, once I got a year of sobriety, that's when I came out public about it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I had a guy like Darren Waller in my locker room who was very public and open about it. And I was kind of terrified to tell people that, I was an addict and I was going through what I was going through. But seeing a guy like that and talking to other people of big influence, talk about their struggles and be open about it, I think it was super important because of my platform and how I can impact others and give back. Because, a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but there's millions of people suffering from addiction. So very open and honest about it. And I think that's the most important thing. You live one life and, as many people as you can help is the best thing you can possibly do. So that's what it's all about.
So you are now in the best division in football. It's crazy. I mean, look at the coaches. Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Spags, Jim Harbaugh, Jesse Minter. Now you have Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly. So when Pete speaks to the team or you individually for the first time, what was Pete Carroll's message?
Compete. He talks about it all the time. No matter what we're doing, we're going to compete. We're going to have fun when we do it. And the culture is first and foremost. Pete, everywhere he's been, has created a culture of winning and fun. And it doesn't mean you're not working hard. It means that everybody enjoys showing up every single day. We have one of the hardest jobs in the world. There's a reason why there's only 1,500 NFL players on the planet. You know what I mean? There's 8 billion people, and there's only a tiny, tiny group of people that can really do it every day. So you have to enjoy the process, and that's something that he's big on. I've talked to a ton of people that he knows and has coached. They've reached out to me from, Marshawn Lynch to Richard Sherman to Michael Bennett, all those guys. They all, the wording and how they approach me about how Pete is and how he operates are all so consistent, and they absolutely love him. So I'm super excited. Me and Pete have only known each other for a couple months now, but I can't wait to continue, building that relationship and continue to do it together and build a winner here.
It's funny. The quarterbacks that you pursue. So you got Mahomes, who moves really well and can throw left-handed. Bo Nix is smaller, but way more athletic than people think. Justin Herbert's a bit of a house. When you rush, is that useless? You don't care, or are there angles you take on guys? Do you think differently when rushing Bo, Justin, and Patrick?
Absolutely. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, and it's up to me to figure out the best approach every single week, because every quarterback's different, every team is different, every coach is different, and the schemes that I gotta, go against change weekly. You know what I mean? I know I'm being circled every week, and they're gonna double team me, triple team me, chip, and all that. So for me, it's like an ultimate mind game more than anything, because I'm trying to figure out how to break that code. And it's become more and more of a challenge, but it's become more and more exciting, you know what I mean, over the years, because it's like I take it as like a sign of respect, that teams are coming after me. But you gotta be so locked in, and you gotta find those couple plays in the game. Okay, if they get in this formation, this is how I'm gonna approach this, and this is where I'm gonna change the game. Like, that's literally how I'm watching the film. Like, I'm watching my film all, leading up to it. How can I improve? How could I be the best version of myself? And then, okay, where is these little windows I can capitalize on? So yeah, every quarterback is different. Pat is one of one. He's different. He's going to try to make every single play. Guys like Josh Allen, Lamar, even Herbert. Like Herbert's gonna, you gotta smack him over and over and over again, because he's gonna literally, like, he'll be on it damn near on his back, and he's still trying to get rid of the ball and make plays. So yeah, it's all, it's ultimate respect at the end of the day. But they know, like, my job is to kill them, and they're the ones, trying to play quarterback, but also they know I'm trying to take their head off at the same time.
So I've said before, there are very few defensive players that lead teams, that are the soul of the team. And when you were talking about contract, I had said on this show, I said, when I think Raiders, even in the 70s and 80s, I think of Maxx Crosby. He looks like a Raider. He plays like a Raider. You talk a lot of trash. Is that to fire you up, or is it to intimidate others? Because you should be in my business. You never stop talking. Who's that for?
I think it's a mixture, and I do appreciate that, Colin. I know your boy over there. I've seen one of the clips. I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself, but I know football, Colin. I don't know about your boy over there, but I'm gonna just keep it like this. For me, I get fired up. It just depends. Like, honestly, sometimes if you're just in that day, you can't predict how you're gonna feel every single day. Sometimes you're gonna be in the best mood ever. Some days you're gonna be in a dark place. Like, that's just what comes with it. And sometimes I just talk to kind of like get myself going. You know what I mean? Like, try to get myself. Like, if I feel like I'm not 110% myself, I might just start a fight in the middle of practice just to get myself going. You know what I mean? So it just kind of depends on where my mind's at and what space I'm at. I don't like to try to chase a feeling, because like, if you have a great game, some guys will go be like, okay, I need to feel like that again. And how do I get to that? You can't chase. There's never going to be that exact feeling. You know what I mean? You just have to go with the flow and be where your feet are and find whatever space you're in, and maximize that, because that's just reality. That's how life is. Some days you wake up and you got the big smile on your face. Hey, I'm going to have a great day. Some days your body's sore, you're hurting, but you still have to find a way to be at your best. So I just feel like there's no perfect recipe to it. You just have to, you can't try to overthink it and try to make something that it isn't. I just try to go with the flow. And some games I'm quiet. I might not say a single word, and I'm just laser focused. Some games I'm just, something pissed me off, or I'm, trying to get myself going, and I'm just on somebody. Like Ravens game, like I was talking the whole game. Some other games, I've had some of the best games of my career, and I'm sitting there smiling the whole game, not saying a word, not talking, I just go with the flow. You know what I mean? I don't try to force any type of vibe or energy.
Finally, for about a week, you were the highest paid non-quarterback in the world. And I know you're not about a money guy. Every time I see you, jeans, T-shirt, you're watching UFC. But do you ever, that day when you signed that contract, who'd you think about? What'd you think about that one day? Where money was like a big discussion in your life?
Yeah, honestly, this, being the second time that I've gotten an extension, the first time was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, it was just crazy. Like, I did it. I got this huge contract, and I always like had that in the back of my head. How would that feel? And I feel like the first time it was like this big thing. And for the outside world, I was like the third or fourth highest paid end at that time. And I'm like, I'm a top 5 guy now, blah, 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 blah. And it meant a lot more to me then than I felt like it to the outside world. But this time around, like, setting history, resetting history, being the highest paid non-quarterback, I feel like the outside world, it was like a huge, huge response. And for me, it was just like another day. Like, I can't even explain it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so laser focused right now on being at my best and getting back healthy and preparing for this next season. I got so many goals and things I want to accomplish. I truly, like, I just wanted to get to a point where I was happy and where I'm comfortable and my family's comfortable, and it's the same as usual. I was literally, the day I signed my contract, I'm in there boxing with the guys and getting my work in before I went and signed my contract. My agents and all them are looking at me like, I'm like, I got to get my work in first. I'm going, you know what I mean? Like, This is most important. I wouldn't have the deal if I'm not putting in the work. So it really it's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong. Like it's an absolute blessing. Like I am set beyond set, and my kids are set, and all that is incredible. But truly, right now, like I'm just focused on building, trying to win a Super Bowl, most importantly, and building a Hall of Fame resume, and that's my focus every single day.
Hey, did you meet Geno yet? Geno Smith, have you met him yet?
Yes, I have. He was in the building a couple days ago. So the second like the news broke, I had been on FaceTime with him like 5 minutes before. He called me with a big smile and was all fired up. So yeah, I was super fired up. I'm super happy that he's a part of this team now, and I just have heard nothing but great things about him. So just taking it one day at a time. We're building our relationship, and I've been a fan of from afar for a long time. I think Gino, people have opinions, how the beginning of his career went and things like that. But look what he's done as he's gotten, as the years have gone by, and he truly is a really, really, really good quarterback. And I know he's still far from satisfied. So, yeah, we've had some great conversations, and we're definitely excited to get to work together.
It's so great seeing you. I'll be going to more
You're the
UFC
best.
fights now here in the next couple of months. It's always great to see you. Congrats to you and your family and sharing some personal stuff. Sometimes I don't know if I should ask those questions, but you're always very appreciative and you give great responses. And there's people out there that have dealt with what you did, and you're 5 years free of it, and it's amazing. And I just love seeing you, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
You're the best, brother. And Colin, I see all your clips, man, all the love and respect you show. It truly means a lot, man. You're one of the best in the game. So I appreciate you. I'll be seeing you soon.
All right, Maxx Crosby.